Hello, this is the C minor violin and piano sonata of Beethoven that I'm doing some spot checking for. I have a rehearsal in a few hours and I want to be relatively ready for that rehearsal. So, I think I'll just start because I want to be in the groove. I prefer a voice where the left hand, that ominous rumble, protrudes through the chord. I don't want to land heavily on the chord, and it's not just a question of, I can't divide my mind in two. I have to decide that the composite experience is one of increasing the intensity in the left hand, probably by accelerating how the left arm moves, and decreasing it in the right hand. If I land too directly and too vertically on the C major chord, it's going to be too loud. So I want to deliver my arm more obliquely. So that the awareness shifts downward. Appropriate fingering for the diminished chord. That's almost. I went 2, 4, 5, but I really want 2, 3, 5. That indicates a certain haphazard quality, which I and again, I'm allowing myself to hit the first of the 16th notes. Again, it happens not because I don't pay attention, but because, well, maybe it does, but because most sound manifestations occur because of a certain physical thing that you do. So if you're not aware of that physical thing, you're taking potluck with your sound. So if I don't want a strong E flat, I've got to change physical strategy, or at least the gesture itself. Yeah, so that the sforzandi really get their chance to shine. Here, so Beethoven. Just plain sloppy. I have the time, I'm alone, and I really have to take full responsibility for my hand placement. Slips like that, they're always a result of arbitrariness. In other words, a moment at which the choreography isn't fully defined, or the expectation of where you're going, for example, if there's a lack of clarity. And then notice how I missed that, for example. There's a natural conclusion to that gesture here. Back down to the thumb. The thumb is already on G. That's placement confidence, let me put it this way, that my hand knows where it is. I think although Beethoven writes his forzando on the second beat, I don't really think it's in the right hand as well. I'm doubling the violin, who's playing an octave above me. The forzando is for the left hand, so I don't want to do that. That reduces the effectiveness of the voicing. Incidentally, I'm playing larger chunks today because in preparation for my recital, I want to feel that the trustworthy areas are large enough that I know even if there's a small bauble somewhere, that there's not a sense of a whole bunch of little chunks being stuck together, but rather that I have a larger view of things. So. Well, I knew what to tell myself. I still have a little edginess, obviously. So it goes to F, then it goes to E flat, then it goes to G. Those are the three right-hand placements. Admittedly, when I took a run at that section, which I've always, in the time I've been working this, that's been one of those sections that's needed more attention because of the disjunct nature of the writing, the shifts of position in both hands. So I really have to know it with more equanimity, the way I would know something that's much more obviously under the hand, like a simple scale. So. Sake of my right hand is a real security under my left hand, as I'm voicing the left hand more, I want that to create a greater awareness and a physical connectedness to what I'm doing. Subordinate hand that if you pay a little bit more attention to it, the other hand that may have more demands placed on it will sort of settle in. used this term before. I call it the, instead of a primary voice, that might be this might be the secondary voice. This becomes the primary psychological or mental voice, the one you pay extra attention to, because it warrants it, or it demands it, or it raises its hand and says, "Please pay attention to me." And by doing so, the hand that that represents the extra busyness, but has a more continuous sense of how it goes, will just contribute and support. It'll act like the mental accompaniment to the hand that needs your attention. So the primary attention getter gets the attention. If the need is placed in the wrong hand, the risk is that you'll never be aware of what that seemingly subordinate voice needs to do, and you'll never fix it. So now, this so often happens, if I pay that much attention to my left hand, it stops needing that much attention, because it gets used to what it needs to get used to. So go back. See, it's a small matter, but I have done that numerous times. The incline of my hand needs to be just so, and most particularly I have to be aware of the hand placement, not of grabbing for the poor isolated fourth finger on E flat. That's too difficult. It's those small things that make a nice difference in your state of B. It's so satisfying to feel that something that's more or less hit and miss becomes trustworthy. Now I was trying to do it by feel, and I really should. If I do what I said and keep the incline of my hand, that'll work. But I can look, and I may very well look. Okay, time to do it again. I felt that I was giving myself more time, enough time to think rather more clearly, which is really what I'm after, is stilling any sense of anxiety in those moments. When you start to know a passage, it's not enough to just know it. You have to know you know it, and you have to know why you know it. In other words, is it luck? Is it just constant repetition? Or can you dial it back up from a standing start? And that's what I like to feel I should be able to do if I understand the process fully. So anyway. Let me skip. No, I shouldn't have. Sloppy, so I've got to think through my left hand more, which is simpler but needs because it turns in different ways, and also because it's the bare bones outline of what the right hand is doing. The right hand adds ornaments, but the left hand has to maintain its simplicity and consistency, so the right hand can decorate it. Myself that because of the page turn. I need third fingers. I should need it to have looked ahead. Second finger in my left hand, and I need to remind myself that sets up the good fingering for the next figuration. 2. Also, it reminds me that I should be thinking of my left hand in the ensuing passage. Because otherwise those offbeat melody notes can drive anyone to the point of distraction. to be prepared for the anthem. It's those transitional moments between one state of being and another that have to be taken care of. So that you just take it in stride. So I haven't written fingering. I think take things for granted, then you better have stored your ideal solution in there. Otherwise, write it down. So let me do that. I need to be a little quieter. And thumb and shift. Does not shift to the last beat, whereas it did it earlier in the exposition. Told myself the right things, but obviously not. G. E natural is part of C major. I'm talking too much. Deserves a rehearing. that the left hand takes extra notes at the end of every group. So if I'm concentrating on the left hand, all right. That's right. Okay, another one. Several times in this piece, Beethoven does those things where he changes the chord in unexpected places to clash.